you count, suckers? I say the future is ours. If you can count.
Hey Zealots, it's Justin. Well, you heard what Cyrus said, can you count? Because that's really where the future is for us, isn't it? In these next 2 weeks, we have to figure out who has to do what if-then statements are out there to see who can clinch, and then see who can make the playoffs. Well, we're going to get into that. But first, I want to congratulate this week's star performers. The smashes for week 12 go to the Knuckleheads, the Gladiators, the Bastards, the Pharaohs, and the league high score, well, that goes to the Gladiators, who scored 129 points. So congratulations to him and to all week 12 winners. Well, we do have one clincher alert, and that goes to the Zulu Empire champs, who are now, for the 2010 season, the Bunker Hill Bastards. He clinched this week at 10-2, so congratulations to him. But, again, you heard what Cyrus said, can we count? Let's take a look through those numbers. Let's see what they tell us. Alright? When we have 2 divisions that are left now, open. The first 2 were clinched. The Browns clinched his division for Kemet. The Bastards clinched this week for the Zulu Empire, so congratulations. And we have 2 empires that are left. And that leaves Mali and, of course, Kush. Well, the simpler one out of the 2 I want to look at goes to the Kush Empire. They're the simplest, alright? If the Dingoes win any of the next 2 weeks, any of the next 2 games, he wins. That's simple. It's a little more tricky for the Knuckleheads. He has to win both games, both week 13 and 14. If that happens, and the Dingoes lose in those same 2 weeks, 13 and 14, then the Knuckleheads can clinch. So he's still in it. As far as winning the division, it's still a good fight, okay? When we look at Mali, it gets a lot more tricky. There's a lot more caveats, if-then statements that you got to try to factor in, but I'll keep it simple, alright? For the Gladiators, in order for the Gladiators to win, he has to win in week 13, and the Rangers have to lose in week 13. If Glads win next week, and the Rangers lose, then the Glads clinch his division. That's fairly simple. If the Glads don't win this week, then they have to play the Rangers in week 14. And whoever wins in that game in week 14 between those 2 teams, well, that's pretty much who's going to win that division between those 2. Okay? For the Rangers, well, we just talked about some of it, but to keep it simple, he has to win both week 13 and 14 to win, to clinch his division. Okay? When we start getting into the Orphan Makers, well, it gets a lot more trickier. The Orphan Makers has to win the next 2 games. That we know. But he also needs Brick City to win in week 13, and then he needs the Rangers to win in week 14. If that happens, based on division records, then he will actually clinch that division. Okay? So some if-end statements, he needs some other people to do some other things, and if those things happen, then he has a chance. But we'll keep an eye on it. I'll discuss it again next week. We'll see how much simpler it gets. It may not even get that far, alright, depending on what the Glads and the Rangers do. And as for Brick City, well, unfortunately, he doesn't have a way to clinch his division. Alright, this is because he lost earlier games in his division the first couple of weeks, and as well as last week. So, that's okay. There's still the wild cards that he has open to him. In fact, those 2 wild cards are open to many players, many Zealots within our league. And I'll go ahead and list them all for you because there's a lot of them. It can go to the Pharaohs, the Mofos, the Glads, the Rangers, the Orphan Makers, the Knuckleheads, hell, even the Pirates and the Dons and the Brick City Bombers can sneak their way in there. So it's fairly open. I'd have done better telling you who would not win, who does not have a chance to get to the playoffs. I won't do that because I think that's a little harmful. We have some egos around I think need protecting. I know if it were me down in the bottom of the league, I wouldn't want my name mentioned. So, but anyway, those are people who have a chance. So guys, keep fighting. It's definitely wide open. And we also have the star of the league. Right now, that's person that's in lead of the Stars, has the most star points. Well, that's the Bunker Hill Bastards. But remember, keep playing because that goes all the way up to the end of the season. All right, to the end of week 17. I'll still be handing out star points, and that's when we'll figure out who actually wins that. Okay? That's really about it for me. There's no smack talk. The Bastards did put up a video up on the Zealot Facebook page. You might want to go check that out. But that's it. All right. So we got a game tonight, Zealot. So keep that in mind. It's between the Philly and Houston. So if you have any questions, give me a call, and I'll see you guys next week. Okay. All right, Zealots. Bye bye.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?